Hello, everyone, and welcome to the BSC News Most Valuable Builders Summit. I'm just going to add another project to the stream. So with us today, obviously, we've got 4 projects live, which is fantastic. Would you like to introduce yourself? So if we sort of go in clockwise order. So first of all, Alex from Wombat Exchange, would you like to introduce yourself and perhaps a little bit about the team from Wombat Exchange?
Yeah, so hey guys, I'm Alex from Wombat Exchange. So I'm the founder, and then our team is led by Daniel, our CTO, Raymond, our CMO, and we have like 5 developers, 2 researchers, and 4 in marketing community. And I guess we are pretty, you could say, crypto OGs because we've been in crypto since 2016, 2015. So yeah, all our team, I've worked in, like under the Cardano Foundation. Daniel has worked, was the original member of Crypto.com. And then, yeah, just our team is very passionate about DeFi. So yeah, thanks. Happy to be here.
Fantastic. Well, lovely to have you here. And
it's just me, or is Tom a little bit cut
Yeah,
off?
I think he's kind of lagging.
yeah, my screen did as well. Jerry, can you hear me okay now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, fantastic. Would you be able to introduce yourself and also a little bit maybe about the team behind Zechary?
Okay, hi. So, hey everyone. My name is Jerry. I'm the CMO of Zechary. So I've been working in financial services for the past decade, and most recently advising on blockchain-related projects. But I started off engaging in a lot of customer service roles when I finished my studies. So working with people and getting a good feel for what they want has always been a soft spot for me. And it's something that I feel like is somewhat lacking in the blockchain world because, we're also excited about the technology itself and the brand new world that it offers, that sometimes being user-friendly and, convenient to use is not at the forefront of our agenda when we work on projects. So that's why I was attracted to Zechary. The founders and the team are brilliant individuals. They want to create a product that will ultimately make all of the digital assets in the blockchain convenient to use, while at the same time being secure and private. So we have 20 people working full-time on the project, and more than half are engineers who's worked for Blockstack, Chainlink, Google, and contributed to top-tier open source projects like MetaMask and zero-knowledge proof libraries like Narc.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, that's us.
Well, thank you very much. Well, great to have you here. Brilliant. Great. And so next we have Simon from Meta Asset. Simon, would you be able to introduce yourself and also a little bit about the team from Meta Asset?
Sure. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
So what we focus on is really to connect. The project aim is to connect, NFT sellers to distribution partners, so that we provide incentives on the smart contract to anybody who's able to promote an NFT and sell it to their audiences or their Twitter fans or their YouTube fans, and really combining that kind of affiliate program with the smart contract and to the NFT ecosystem. So we mostly the team come from, there's a Tesla former employees, and then we have our CTO comes from Meta. He's part of the virtual reality team in Meta. So that's our main composition for the team, and we look forward to the talk.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Lovely to have you here. And next we've got Eskil from Go Plus Security. First of all, welcome to the Most Valuable Builders Summit. Would you be able to introduce yourself a little bit and also the team that works with you?
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure to be here. And I'm Eskil, a co-founder of the Go Plus Security. And Go Plus Security is funded by a bunch of guys who had working in the internet security and the crypto security for more than 10 years. And many of them from Windows Security Center and also the called 360, which is the largest security company in China. And we do handle a lot of security issues in traditional internet world and also the crypto. So we hope to provide an open, permissionless, user-driven new type of the security platform to crypto and create everyone's security tool here.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for the introduction. So welcome again, everyone, well, the viewers, to the BSC News Most Valuable Builders Summit. This will be recorded as well, so you'll be able to watch it again. But my next question is going to be perhaps little bit similar to my first, which is going to be introduce your project, give it a brief overview. But I'll just explain sort of how this is going to work. So I'll ask each project, I'll ask you a question, and just, it's going to be very relaxed. Just answer it and we'll go on to the next person. But at any time, if you want to add something constructive, some compliments at all to the previous project's answer, you're more than welcome. So it'd be good to perhaps get a little discussion going between us. And that's hopefully sort of what we're going to have at the end. And obviously you're all very different projects as well. So the questions that I've got for you are related perhaps a little bit to what it means to be part of the Most Valuable Builder program. Great. So I'm going to ask the next question, which is similar to the first-ish in a way, which is give me a brief overview of what your project is, what it does, that sort of thing. Good. So if we just sort of go clockwise again, nice and easy. So Alex, Wombat Exchange, can you tell us a little bit about Wombat Exchange, please?
Yeah, for sure. So we are Wombat Exchange, and we actually have what we call a hyper-efficient multi-chain stable swap, because stable swaps being one of the most important like DeFi Legos, they face many issues in the ecosystem, such as like fragmented liquidity, scaling issues, and the most important thing is poor UI. It's like if you got a curve ellipsis, you look at it like it looks convoluted and complicated, and it shouldn't be that way, because like I mentioned, stable swaps should be kind of like a foundational piece of any ecosystem. So Wombat, however, we solve all of that with like a true single-side staking user with a very simple and unique user experience. Basically, our algorithm and our design is very unique. It's innovative. We're not forking anything, and our conviction towards DeFi is genuine. With a successful stable swap, BNB chain will be, it'll help BNB and all these projects that build upon Binance chain to be successful. And one of the things that we actually take pride in is that Wombat's our innovative algorithm. Basically, we have solved all these slippage issues. We have a system that's 40% more capital efficient and slippage friendly than Curve. Basically, we stay in equilibrium much longer. We get there sooner. And basically, in terms of like calculation and efficiency, we are second to none. So because of that, our design is very conducive for platforms to build on top of, such as borrow and lend platforms, trading platforms, and just everything in general. And we're very proud of what we've done, and we've had like awesome support from a lot of like VCs. So yeah, that's basically this quick gist of it. And then thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Alex. No, it's very interesting indeed. We'll get more in depth into it shortly. Good. Jerry, would you be able to introduce Zachary, please, in a little bit more detail?
Sure. By the way, any project that aims to be more user-friendly gets a kudos in my book, because I think for crypto,
Definitely.
just the more user-friendly it is, the more user adoption that we get. And we, at the end of the day, we just need more users to get on board. So, in a nutshell, Zachary, it's a layer 2 privacy protocol that's based on ZK rollup. The goal is to allow users to be able to access all of their digital assets across different blockchains while maintaining a high level of security and privacy in one easy-to-use product. So you don't want to have 10 different apps, wallets installed on your phone and computer in order to use all the different tokens. And you definitely don't want all of your transactions to be, public knowledge. So Zachary supports an all-in-one wallet plugin where you can aggregate and manage your digital assets from various blockchains. For example, if you have one Ethereum on Arbitrum and 2 on Polygon, on the Zachary wallet, you can see your digital asset balance on a single interface, even though they are on a different blockchain. And you have the option of depositing the Ethereum from both chains into Zachary's layer 2. And now you can see that you have 3 Ethereums in one place. Then, if you want, you can even withdraw these 3 Ethereums to the Ethereum mainnet. So as a result, you don't have to worry about which network that you have your assets on, because you can see and manage all of it on Zachary. Now, this includes NFTs. So at launch, we'll have our own set of NFTs that you can store and manage, even use it as your profile icons. We'll be integrating NFTs that are available in the marketplace so that eventually you can, buy, sell, and transfer all kinds of NFTs as well. And then you have the privacy aspect, where Zachary can provide a lightning fast user experience based on zero knowledge so that your transactions are encrypted. You can even transfer to, you can have multiple transfers. How do I put it? You can transfer to multiple accounts with one transaction in Zachary. So if you want to say split 2 BNBs between your wife and mom for Christmas, you can do that in a single transaction. And another core aspect of Zecri is the cross-chain swap capability, which can replicate what existing layer 1 swaps can do, including, say, permissionless liquidity provisioning, staking, and farming. So on top of that, Zecri guarantees the privacy of the transactions. So due to scalability advantages that comes naturally to layer 2 solutions, in conjunction with the fact that transactions on layer 2 in Zecri is completely private except to the user. Therefore, Zecri very effectively tackles a pretty big problem, I think, which is MEV. Most of you would know it's a minor extractable value, which is a pretty big deal, especially in the Ethereum network, where it's been reported that more than $500 million has been extracted from ordinary users of the Ethereum network so far. So it's basically where big groups of people, sometimes like in the mining industry, they can manipulate the sequence that orders are completed within the blocks that they validate by playing around the gas fees. So Zecri tackles that by having a sorting service where the mempool is on the FIFO basis, which is first in, first out. So every transaction must be executed in order, and you combine that with the 300 transactions per second, which, by the way, will be increased to 3,000 when mainnet is launched, and the fact that each transaction is encrypted to the public key, that pretty much eliminates the MEV issue. And the underlying architecture is based on ZK rollup, so security is based on layer 1, the layer 1 networks, and since all swap transactions are implemented on layer 2, they can be confirmed almost instantaneously at a fraction of the transaction fee. So
Wow.
that's us.
That's very impressive. Really impressive indeed. Yeah. Well, thank you for the very interesting overview of Zecri. Brilliant. Thank you. So next on our list, if we continue with the clockwise theme, is Eskil from Go Plus Security. I know that you introduced Go Plus Security a little bit on the last question, but if you could just give us a brief overview of the project, or a more in-depth overview actually, of what Go Plus Security is, that would be fantastic. And I think you might need to unmute yourself as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for the question, Tom. And as I actually mentioned before, the Go Plus Security is really focusing on making everyone's security tool. So it's like in the real world, you don't want to get any thief or scam or robber. At the same time, in crypto, you do have this kind of shit happening every day. So what we're doing, and from technology point of view, we do the all kind of the dimension of the detection, like the token, like the smart contract, like the on-chain monitoring, and also the user induction. And until now, actually in January, we had 60 times growth, like in the API calls. Like nowadays, every day, we got more than 300,000 data count. And take the token as an example. What we're doing is we doing the detection for each of the token. The users could buy it, and you probably find there was some tricky thing in your token. For example, this very typical thing was called a honeypot, which means you can buy it, but you can sell that. It's like a very tricky thing. So among all these things, we have been detected more than 450,000 token. And actually, more than 80% of them is on BSC. So you could understand, like, we are providing a service which be integrated in a lot of familiar tools you could use for, like the DEX, or like the wallet, or like some data aggregator, something like a CMC CoinGecko. So you could search on the token. You could see if the token is risky or not, and what is that showing there. So by that, we're providing a way from all different kind of dimension to protect our user. Because before Go Plus, I think it's very hard to find something to really can protect the user. You probably, as a product team, you could go to the auditing company, but the auditing company, what they do is more like a pay for use, regardless of how good it is. But actually, in the reality world, was many user was buying some token, but they have nowhere to go. They don't know who could ask if there's something risky or not. Regardless, there are also some kind of the user interaction risky, like some phishing website. So the Go Plus is just trying to provide all this information with different partners, like I said, DEX, wallet, data aggregator, and also same time with some security partner. For example, Ragdoc, probably some of them have used that. And we also providing the API data to them too. And at the same time, they did amazing security user education thing and really useful tools for the people.
Fantastic. No, I think it's a service that's definitely needed in the crypto world, because obviously, as you said, projects can do audits, but then, well, how many people actually will click on the audit and read through it? And also, secondly, how many people would actually understand perhaps what's written there? But with
Yes.
well, yeah, Go Plus Security. I was about to call you S-Skill Go, but yeah, Go Plus Security. Yeah, hopefully it's made a lot easier. They can just copy and paste the contract address in, and it's in black and white there for them. Well, thank you very much for the overview. Brilliant. Next up, Simon from Meta Asset.
Yeah, so I think I'll talk about the issue that we want to solve and how we do it, our structure, and what kind of results do we yield with our solution. So I think if you look at e-commerce, making an analogy here, if you look at e-commerce, about 80% of the e-commerce transactions now are influenced by different social medias, and nearly 50% is actually conducted through influencers. So we think this number will actually be higher in the NFT market, because we can already observe now is different celebrities have endorsement for different NFTs, and different NFT projects are always looking for influencers to promote the NFTs. However, there's a problem, which is number one, the promoter of the NFT series is not promoting any specific item for transaction for liquidity, but really the series as a whole, so that their influence cannot be measured very precisely. Number two is that a lot of the if you're able to promote an NFT, it doesn't necessarily lead to transactions. So what we try to build is a promoters network where you have different roles. Number one role is the seller or owner of the NFT who can list their NFTs onto the market. This can be done either through OpenSea or through other NFT markets or through our platform. And then the second role is the promoter. So anybody can put these kind of NFTs into their link, and the NFTs that they want to help sell into their promoter's link store, so that they can and they can earn a commission on selling them, so that they can actually profit from the transaction they actually foster and help to make. So this makes the NFT transaction more recognizable in terms of who sold it and how specific the transaction or the promotion channel happened. And number three, you have the buyer who actually get more exposure of the NFTs through these kind of influencer or promoters channel. So basically, this is the structure for solving the problem I previously mentioned. And in terms of having the solution, what it really enabling through blockchain is that we are able to do this through the smart contract, so that we can eliminate the trust issue and the globalization limitations for different transaction or NFT market transactions. So anybody can buy any kind of NFT without knowing who's the promoter, having trust in the distribution network, and really have smart contract as the middleman to carry out the deal. So really, this is like somewhat like the Amazon Associates program, but really into the more digital assets, not just e-commerce goods, and really carried out through smart contracts is what we're trying to achieve.
Fantastic. No, that again, well, it sounds like a much needed project in the space. And how far along with a release, a fully 100% working release, or the roadmap are you within Meta Asset?
Yeah, right now we already have the demo working. So we're trying to scale it up a little bit with more influencer coming in and with more listing for NFTs coming inside as well. So we are probably going to do that Q2, I think.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Simon. Very interesting indeed. So the next question for you all is specifically about the Binance Most Valuable Builder program. So I've written, well, what does it mean to you and your community to be part of the Most Valuable Builder program? It could be, well, why specifically do you want your project to be on the project? Well, how did you feel perhaps when you found out that your project was part of the final group of the most valuable builders? So if we just go clockwise again, Alex, Wombat Exchange, what does it mean to you and also your community to be part of the Binance Most Valuable Builder program?
Awesome, thanks, Tom. Obviously, like all these projects that just when performing, great projects, guys. Really love it. I think you guys are super innovative. For Wombat Exchange, it's actually kind of interesting because we actually just came out of Incubation Lab Season 3. So yeah, after that, like our project just took off, and then we got into MVB Season 4. So I had a fantastic time during the Incubation Lab Season 3 because I just learned a lot. Just like got exposed to a lot of good mentors and all that kind of stuff. And obviously MVB program is even like a hyper extended, it's a better version or a upgraded version of that. And it means a lot for the community because obviously it means the community is very passionate, understands the project. And also just being in this community with all these other like great projects, it helps, I guess, not only getting exposure, but, you know, support from Binance and also being exposed to all these like great mentors and adds a lot of value to our project. And I think, I think I'm super excited because like every week we get to talk to some awesome people that helps give new inspiration. So yeah, happy to be here.
Fantastic, brilliant. Thank you very much, Alex. And Jerry, what does it mean to you, your project, and also your community to be part of the Binance Most Valuable Builder program?
Well, for Zachary, it's an honor. It's great publicity. Our project gets more exposure so that more people can try out and find out for themselves how much quality of life that it will bring to their blockchain experience. I mean, right now it can be a lonely and pretty isolated experience as a blockchain user. A lot of people are hesitant to jump in because it seems overly complicated to the everyday moms and pops. But ultimately, I think blockchain is there to make everyone's lives better, right? It gives accessibility to services to those who doesn't have what we take for granted, better deal with inefficiencies in our systems, and the list goes on. But we need people to use blockchain, which I think Zachary will be it's a good stepping stone for that extra bit of user-friendly experience where you can do a lot of things in one place. Probably digressing a little, but being part of the MVB program gives access to masterclasses, which is an excellent opportunity for the team to learn from the best. It also extends our network so we can build connections to other group projects like Go Plus Security, Wombat Exchange, MetaAsset, and potential opportunities for collaborations. So I feel like this extra bit of recognition gives our community a peace of mind. It's like an extra increased feel of legitimacy. I mean, all the blockchain projects, right? Even Ethereum, it came from just an idea. And it's pretty scary to take the idea and try and make it a reality. You get laughed at and ridiculed. But having a program like MVB is something that helps you, like, keeps you going, and it's reassuring.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Jerry. And as well, Jerry, your camera keeps on pausing, which is fine. I did have you on solo layout, and you might have thought, oh no, why is he only why is he not doing solo layout on me anymore? It was because you were just a static picture, even though that would be very nice to look at. I perhaps thought it might be better for this. So not sure if it's the connection or your camera or something. But yeah, no biggie. But yeah, at the moment your sound is absolutely fine, and that's the main thing.
Okay.
Thank you. Brilliant. Well, a very nice explanation. Thank you, Jerry, from Zachary. Next up, obviously, we have Eskil from Go Plus Security. Can you tell us perhaps what it means for you and also Go Plus Security and the community as well to be part of the Binance Most Valuable Builder program? Oh, I think you need to unmute yourself. Yeah, I think you're mute. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
I think all the pleasure is on us, and it's also an honor to be part of the MVB family. And I think it's very simple for us because just from the data point of view and regarding on the user and also data, for example, again take the token as example, 80% of the token we have been detected is on BSC. So I need to explain that further because we have a user-driven security platform, which means all the token we have been detected is actually a request being raised from at least one user. So they detect the token, then we detect that for them. So we have the result. And for BS, our who can in crypto. I mean, there could be different opinions because if you look at the total value, I mean, some people could probably say it's BTC, but if you see like the DeFi TVL, then it's probably Ethereum. But if you're talking about like the user and the number of the user and all these tokens, I would say that must be BSC because if you look at the data on CoinGecko, like the PancakeSwap as main DEX is only DEX which have 20 million people use that every day. And the same for us working as a security infrastructure, it will be like the main line to fighting with all this kind of risk and to protect the user. So absolutely, this is definitely one of the most important things for us to be here and trying to provide the service and also raise the users' awareness regarding on security. Yep, that.
Sorry, I did what you just did. I didn't unmute myself.
Yes,
Okay.
I said
Yeah,
down. Sorry.
No, thank you very much. So I do think it's very important because people can still easily buy tokens from, PancakeSwap, ApeSwap, whatever, that are basically honeypots. And a warning doesn't pop up or anything. It just says, I accept that this is a custom token. So it is important. I mean,
True.
in the future, perhaps, do you want to be, integrated into, different exchanges and things that might say, click this link just to check
Absolute.
Yeah. No, I think that would be, a good thing to do. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sorry. Actually, we are okay. Just one sentence. Actually, we are taking this data. We are under working with the Dodo exchange and also the app swap. So sooner or later, I think very soon you will have this security function index. So you will on the list, you will see the label of the security, and when you're trying to do the swap, you will see the notice if the token is risky. You will have this label there.
Brilliant. No, I think all swaps exchanges should have that. Thank you very, very much, Esco from Go Plus Security. So
welcome.
next
Thank
up
you.
is Simon from Meta Asset. Can you explain to us what it means for you, the project Meta Asset, and also your community to be part of the Binance Most Valuable Builder program?
Yeah, first of all, I think it's a great recognition for us. We're honored to be part of it, and most importantly, we think this is a really good community that it's just like for any startup companies, it's usually hard in the beginning, and once you have a group of people to support each other, that really makes things so much more better. So it's a learning community that we're getting weekly seminars from experienced professionals within the industry. That's great learning for our tech departments. And we're getting support for tech and financing, which is also very important. I think this is great resources to us. And in general, I think it's just a great community to be part of, to continue to learn from other startups, companies, projects as well, and it just feels good to be part of the team. Yeah,
brilliant. Thank you. I think the pooling of ideas, obviously between all of your projects and also the team at Binance as well, is incredibly valuable, priceless. Even learning from each other is key.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Well, thank you everyone for telling us, well, in your opinion, what it means to be part of Binance Most Valuable Builder. So my next question for all of you is, for projects that are wanting to be part of the next round of Binance Most Valuable Builders, obviously a lot apply and not many make it through to the final group. What would you suggest to them? Perhaps what do they need to do to their project, or what do they need to do in the application form for most valuable builder? What are Binance looking for, perhaps? Have you got any suggestions to projects wanting to be part of the next most valuable builder program? And Alex, if you've got anything to say for that would be fantastic.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I guess everyone has mentioned here is the MVB program. It's great because you get a chance to have a great set of mentors, gotta connect with like all these wonderful projects. And I think one of the things to get into the MVB program is like, if you have something that solves a problem like all of us have, I think that's the main thing. And if you have a strong team, all that kind of stuff to kind of make that actually happen and execute it, I think that's what they look at. And it's being in here, it's great because synergies that we can actually make is one of the most important parts. And then that's what you want, right? You want to solve problems, build relationships, and make your project even more successful with each other, because crypto isn't a zero-sum game. We should all leverage each other's like for a greater, like, newer heights. And I think that's the thing. So in short, just if you solve issues and not just a fork and make innovation, I think that's the most important thing, what they look for.
Fantastic. Well, I think you're all definitely doing that. You will tick that box. Thank you very much, Alex. Jerry from Zachary, what would you suggest? Oh, your camera looks nice and smooth now, which is great. What would you suggest to projects wanting to be on the Binance MVB program in the future?
Well, thanks, Tom. Well, thing is, Alex actually made some really good points, so I'm gonna have to piggyback off some of them, especially pertaining to, you have to make sure that your project you have to identify what kind of problem is there, and you have to make sure that your project really solves a particular problem. There's an actual use case for it. Be in touch with your community, listen to their feedback, do your own analysis on the feedback, and act on the feedback. So I think that is the best way to go about it, just really providing usage and value to everyone, which is who uses your project.
Brilliant. Well, thank you. Yeah, and as I said, and obviously as others have said as well, all the projects here today certainly do provide a very good solution to gaps in the crypto space. Thank you. Eskil from Go Plus Security, what would you suggest to projects wanting to get into the MVP program? Sorry, most valuable MVB program for the next round.
Yeah, sure. I would say that the benefit is so obvious, because this is amazing platform for everybody to get into the higher step, and also utilize this is such a large base of the crypto user, and I really wish could see like a more real innovative project that was coming to this MVB in BSC, because in our point of view, in my seeing, there's a lot of things we could do. Is for the infrastructure, is for the different kind of application, and I take us as an example, because again, we said we want to make an open a platform for security. So even for ourselves, we would like to see it's not only us, it could be some other entities working on security on different type of the thing, because security is not only about one thing. It's not only about the private key. It's about a lot of dimensions that you could working on. So I really hope like we could see more like this innovative entities, this entrepreneurs to enter in it, to contribute to make it much better sustainable ecosystem for BSC. That's my wishes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Eskil from Go Plus Security. Brilliant. Simon from Meta Asset, what would you suggest to projects? Any tips or tricks to try and get into the Binance MVB program?
Right. So I think the most important thing definitely for any kind of startup is to find the right direction. The right framing question is whether, people often say it's, is it an actual problem? Does it need to be solved? And I think that's, that accounts for really, it's the one, and everything else is just the zeros. So that's the most important thing, is to frame the right question, ask the right question and solve that question really, I think, is most important. And number two, I think it's very important to incorporate a good team with a strong background from industry. And I think basically with these two components, what's more important is just to have determination and just get things done, continue and push forward. I think that would be the three advice top from us. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Well, yeah, as I said earlier, it does sound as though all of your projects are providing a solution to gaps in the market. All your teams do sound great from my initial question. So I'm not surprised that any of you are in the Binance MVB program. Congratulations again. I'm glad it's all working very well for you. My next question might be a little bit tricky, but if you could choose one project here with us today, not your own, that you think is going to be very successful in the future. Obviously, you're all, I'm pretty sure, going to be successful in the future. But if you could just choose one and explain perhaps why you think they are, as well as yours, why you think they are going to be successful, and also why you're excited about that one project that's here with us today. I know it's a little bit tricky, but Alex, if you could go first, that would be fantastic. Sorry to put you in the spotlight all of a sudden.
Yeah, putting me on the spot here, but I just want to say I love all your projects because I really think you guys are solving something. If I had to choose one, that's a hard one because I think, to be honest, I think Zachary and like Matt said, you guys are doing something really sexy, and I think that's cool. For Wombat, obviously, we're doing something kind of boring, but it's foundational. So, no, I guess that kind of falls in line with like why I think Go Security, because it's not as sexy like a stable swap, but it's a necessary thing that you want for like any blockchain to survive. I think. I mean, like Binance obviously has some small history with like some hacking and that kind of stuff. And I think if you guys if Go Security is successful, and I'm pretty sure you will be, it helps a lot because for you guys to succeed, it means all of us to succeed, because that means like Binance has better security, there's less hacks, and it just helps the image. And I think that's really important for us. And I think that's why I want you guys to succeed, because it helps all of us here succeed too. So yeah, that would be my choice.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Jerry, from Zachary, who would you? Who would here with us today? Which projects are you very interested in from what we've been talking about?
Please, Tom, this is a tough one,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think we would all like to say all projects. We love you all, but if you had to choose one, obviously there's no favoritism at all. Yeah.
It's really hard. I find that it's really hard to be like. I really don't think it's my place to judge on who's going to be successful here, because I mean everyone here is here because they have merits in their respective fields, right? The fact that they made it so far means everyone here has a realistic shot of being successful. But
yeah,
but Tom, if you don't mind, like, can I bounce the question back to you as to like when you say success, how would you define it?
Well, good question. I mean, if a person perhaps gave you $200 to invest in one project here, and you had to, just obviously we'd all split it between us all. Obviously not me, because I don't have a personal project. But if you just wanted to, invest in one project, and held at gunpoint, you can only choose one. Or actually, an easier thing to say might be, well, what other projects? Well, what have they talked about today, specifically that you've been very interested in? What project here is providing perhaps a solution that is new to you? What project is providing something that's that you think that the market needs? Obviously, apart from Zachary. Yeah, does that make sense? That was a bit of a rambling question.
No, I feel you. I feel like Alex again made a pretty good point in terms of just like I don't think any of us is doing something that's really sexy, like GameFi or new NFT products, anything fancy, but it's all very much needed, especially pertaining to security. So I'll say go plus security, because right now crypto needs more people, and for more people to jump on board, you want people to be confident in the underlying technology. I mean, you don't want, right now you can see headlines, $14 billion has been stolen from crypto so far, right? You see headlines like that, it really deters and creates this stigma around cryptocurrency. So increasing security on that will definitely increase people's faith in blockchain, and ultimately that will bring more people on board. And eventually, when there's mass adoption, this is why we're all here for, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that's putting people off perhaps getting into crypto is hearing about all these security issues and things, and an issue that puts a lot of people off from investing in startup projects, especially, is is the token, first of all, sellable, but the security issues perhaps behind it that they can't work out from the audit. So yeah, correct. Thank you very much, Zachary, for the answer. So now we're on to Eskil. Obviously, you've got two fans with you here, Alex and Jerry. Which project would you like to quickly mention or talk about here with us?
Yeah, well, first I feel so proud because they are talking with the security thing. I mean, I'm so happy to hear that. But still, I mean, as I see, I mean, each of us, we all do have the great future, and because there's all has a lot of problem we could deal with, we could improve, we could build. But if they have to let me choose one to say, because I think I probably know a little bit better on Zachary, and I think the Zachary's product is also something very interesting to me, and actually the same time is about the privacy itself is actually also highly relevant with security, because we are also preparing for the security detection version with the privacy protection, like I think in the end of the year. And the same time they are utilizing a lot of the ZK technology, which in our point of view, I think that's also a very, how to say, it could be a very large step for crypto, since it's probably eliminated all the transaction cost in a way. Although we don't know the final way, but I think it's very importantly to really level up the whole infrastructure of a crypto industry, or Web3 in another word. So I think that is like how to say, is like enlarge the total cake of our thing there. So absolutely, after this, you need to you will definitely have more application, and during the same time, the privacy thing is still a very I think it's an important issue, important perspective to protect the people, and also doing that in some way you have to use that to make it in the privacy way. So so if I, it's like a vote there, I give the vote to Zachary, to the Jerry.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Eskil. Good. Great. So Simon from Meta Asset, who would you like to quickly mention or talk about here with us today?
Yeah, I think every project here has been very good in terms of locating the problem and articulating the idea, and I think it's just quite an amazing panel. And for us, it's really hard for me to compare different, because each solves a different problem in a different sector. Different, you cannot compare infrastructure to safety to liquidity or whatever it is. So I think in general, if we can pitch the $200 into the incubator, that would be great, if you ever allow that chance. But for me, that would be my answer.
Okay, well, thank you very, very much, Simon. Very diplomatic. Thank you. Good. So my next question is, well, first of all, why did you choose BNB Chain? And also, I understand, some of your projects are currently sort of cross-chain as well. But now that you are sort of part of the Binance MVB program, have you thought, well, I'm just going to read the question how it is so I don't ramble. Why did you choose BNB chain for your project? And would you consider going cross-chain now that you're in the MVB project? Or would you consider ever leaving BNB chain? But also in your view, well, why is BNB chain so great? Alex, please, go ahead.
Well, me first again. So a bit of, like I mentioned before, Wombat was actually started in the incubation program, season 3, and actually I just submitted the application with just an Excel document. I didn't even have any code ready. So Binance gave us a chance, and obviously we built it up, and obviously there's much more traction now. And then I think Binance gave us a chance, and obviously that's one of the reasons. But another reason is that because we are building a stable swap, and Binance is a very unique. They're kind of an anomaly in this world in the sense that they have a gigantic centralized exchange, gigantic DEX, its own stable coin, incubation program, obviously, and obviously like a lot of institutional clients on their centralized exchange. So really, like we're sticking with Binance because really Wombat's value proposition really fits in with like their whole entire ecosystem. Like being like the yield farming stable swap for their DEX, helping them with their stable coins, and just building it up like that. And it's because it is a kind of a glaring hole in the Binance ecosystem. They don't have a very easy to use successful stable swap, and that's what we're bringing in. And bring in our innovation and algorithm and design to make BNB chain like awesome again, because it's got tons of users, like Esco said. And and finally, we do consider going cross chain because I do believe the future is cross chain. But BNB is our home. They've been very supportive. They have honestly one of the best teams. They're very supportive, very helpful, and we intend to make it our home, even though if we do go cross chain, so it'll be our base, so to speak. Fantastic.
Good. Well, thank you, Alex. And you've all got quite a lot of fans in the chat as well. So thank you for the people making comments. It's very useful and supportive. So Jerry, would you be able to explain to us perhaps why you initially chose BNB chain, and also, I understand, that you're sort of going cross chain as well. But why BNB chain?
Well, it's a really active layer 1 blockchain with a robust ecosystem. So there's a lot of active projects, and building on top of the BNB chain means that we have access to a huge user base and more opportunities to partner up with different protocols on the network. So, the very nature of Zecri's wallet's functions in layer 1 means cross-chain functionality, and our layer 2 adds an extra privacy layer for transactions and cross-chain functions. So, users can move and use assets from other layer 1 chains to BNB, which will increase interconnectivity and more adoption. So in the end, more people will end up using the BNB ecosystem because now they have better access to it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. No, that's very good. Do you know sort of what percentage of transactions are on the BNB chain out of interest? Because as you said, yes, so many projects are on the BNB chain. You scroll through Twitter, new projects. Personally, 90% of them or so, in my opinion, they look like they, on the BNB chain. Do you know sort of how many, or in terms of percentages or anything, are on Binance? Well, I was going to say Binance Smart Chain, but BNB chain.
Percentage of crypto in total, or do you mean? Can you kind of clarify a little?
Sorry, I meant sort of. Actually, it's a bit of an ambiguous question. So, transaction. Well, I sort of meant transactions within crypto, but then obviously you could, look at that with it as, how gas fees per chain and things. But number of transactions per chain. Do you know? I don't know this at all, by the way, and it is a very difficult question. But do you know sort of how popular BNB chain is in comparison to others?
Compared to the overall ecosystem, BNB, they definitely have a major. I'll say they have a significant amount, but in terms of the exact number, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. But it's an amount that is I'll say it's definitely under 50, right?
Yeah.
But it's above 5 to 10.
Okay.
So it's considering Binance should be one of the biggest exchange in the world, depending on the kind of metric that you use. But it's quite significant. But exact numbers, I'm not sure, to be honest.
No, I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure either.
I'll look into that. That's a good question.
No, well, yes. Well, sorry to put you on the spot like that. I just I thought it might be quite interesting. I'll look into it as well for our viewers and things. And apologies, Jerry, for putting you on the spot like
it's
that.
it's good to know what you don't know.
Exactly. Good. So Eskil from Go Plus Security, would you be able to explain to us why did you choose BNB Chain initially? Actually, you have pretty much already explained this, but if you just give us a recap, why BNB Chain, and would you consider going cross-chain in the future?
Yeah, actually, I want to follow on the topic you just mentioned. I mean, regarding on the population. Am I missing? Sorry. If you talk about the population, the user size of the chain, I do think BNB chain is the largest chain. And the thing is, for us, Go Plus Security is actually a multi-chain security detection platform because the basic principle again is open, permissionless, user-driven. Is honestly, I mean, we feel very honored to be here, and it's actually. It's not only ourselves choose a BNB chain, it's actually the user lead us to BNB chain because, I mean, just say that again, I mean, from the data, we have the most of the user, I mean, they are submit the request on the token or smart contract or different kind of things in BNB chain. That's why I have the largest number. But if you take the question in another way, I mean, see, if you choose BNB chain or other chain, I think in my point of view is how to keep the companion needs for BNB chain. I mean, as the largest chain, I mean, like with a score with the largest number, because I think the important thing for crypto is it's so dynamic. It's so dynamic. The infrastructure is still like in the middle of the growth, right? Like in the big growth, you just have the optimism, then you have ZK, then you also have a Cosmos, like is also doing something, and others like Avalanche or Polkadot, and so I think the question is how could we together and make it the ecosystem was even better and more attractive to others. In the end, I think even which chain is not the key question, because I think for ordinary user, I mean, I don't think they will care that much about the chain like in 2, 3, or 5 years, because you think about the internet world, you wouldn't care which cloud you're using, right? Is AWS or Google Cloud? It doesn't matter. I just enjoy the app. I enjoy the NFT, the gaming, the social file, whatever. That's what I care about. So I do think it's right now it's like a competition, but I think in the long run, it's more about who could provide the best application to attract the best developer and the users. Yeah, that's
Brilliant.
my point.
Well, thank you very much, Eskil. Again, thank you from Go Plus Security. Simon from Meta Asset, why did you initially choose BNB Chain for your program? And can you tell us about any plans or current activities, or are you considering even going cross-chain?
Yeah, most of the early NFTs are from Ethereum, but now there's more because you see the league of games NFTs and the social fi NFTs, and some NFTs with DeFi applications really coming, increasing in numbers. And that's where we think a lot of volume and users may be coming from Binance, BSC, and that's one of the reasons why we were crossing Ethereum and we're crossing BSC. And I think the general lower transaction fee and the lower cost to use will increase the number of users who are making more frequent transactions. So if we're talking about NFTs or digital kind of assets that requires a lot of transactions and trading and movements, I think in general that could be a direction for future NFTs as well, and I think that will mean for us more and more will come from BSC or other blockchains, and BSC has the most users now. So that's kind of our logic.
Fantastic, brilliant. Thank you very much, Simon. So we're sort of coming towards the end of the Most Valuable Builder Summit, or the MVB Summit. But my final question is: what specifically would you like to gain, or what specifically does your project ideally want to gain from being part of the MVB program? And also, would you be able to, during that question as well, either before or after, tell listeners your social links, maybe your Discord, Telegram, website, so they can check you out as well? So what do you specifically want to gain by being part of the MVB program, and also your social links? Alex, in first place again with the clockwise clock. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Really appreciate that. Well, like I mentioned, like I think building relationships and like partnerships is like one of the most important things and the way we can succeed. And just learning more from industry experts like around, like just like from Jerry, Eskil, and Simon, and Tom, of course. And yeah, that's the main thing. It's just like getting more exposure through BNB, and because that's we're all builders and we want to continue to build, and that's the main thing. So obviously our Twitter is just find all the information there at twitter.com/wombat exchange, and that's it. Or our website, wombat.exchange, and that's us.
Perfect. Easy to remember. Wombat.exchange. Yeah, very easy. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Alex. Jerry from Zachary, would you be able to tell us what specifically you want to gain from being part of the MVB program, and also perhaps your social links as well?
Oh, sorry, Tom. I didn't catch the last bit.
Oh, sorry. So it's just, what do you specifically want to gain by being part of the MVB program? And also, if you could tell us your social links, so perhaps your Telegram, Discord, website address as well, so people can check you out. That would be fantastic.
Great. So in a nutshell, we will love more exposure and opportunities to collaborate with other great projects like the ones that we have here.
Yeah. No, good.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
You can find us. You can find our website on zachary.com as well, and we have a working demo that you can play around with. And I'll probably send you the Twitter and Discord handle, so maybe it's a bit easier to share if you don't mind.
Of course.
You can put it in the description.
No problem. Yeah, so on our Twitter, so the BSC News Twitter, we have also got all the projects. We've tweeted about them quite a few times, so you can easily find them from there. Just scroll down. If they're not already at the top, scroll down one or two posts, and they'll be there, and their Twitter links and things are there for you. So Eskil, what would you specifically like to gain from being part of the MVB program?
Yeah, I would say for us, it's a wonderful journey. Although it's not very long, it's like for monthly, but it's like the summer camp for us to join here, meet with friends, and you guys helping us in BNB chain. And what do we want to say? I mean, to a lot of the users and project, again, I mean, we are trying to providing the best everyone's security tool, but same time, I think it's need to raise the people's awareness regarding on security, because a lot of people just lost all their assets without any sense on that. So on that part, what we're trying to do is we're not to provide a police officer. We're more like a protect the user as a private guard, right? Because there's no police station, such kind of thing in crypto, and if you have that, it doesn't work. So it's better to protect yourself. So, and of course, welcome everybody to try our product, because you can get it not only from us, it's also from the project that we cooperate with, like Ragnarok, like AVE.ai, or Mask Network, Dodo, AppSwap later. And another thing is I also want to mention is the Go Pocket wallet, which in our point of view is the best security wallet. We're providing that you could experience all this active security thing. As I said, provide a private guard to you. That's it. Thank you so much, Tom.
Fantastic, thank you, and I like that you're repping the T-shirt as well. Very cool. Good. So Simon from Meta Asset, what would you specifically like to gain from being part of the MVB program? And also, if you'd like to drop any social links, that would be fantastic. Obviously, listeners, we've got them on our Twitter as well?
Sure. I mean, it's a great start to be part of the program. And then the longer term goal would be we want to make NFTs more accessible, and we want to make the promotion network more effective and actually more easy to measure in terms of their effectiveness. And really just to contribute to the overall ecosystem of the NFT economy. So we're still at the pre-launch stage, so we can stay tuned for Q2. We will release some of the product initial versions in Q2, and our domain is metaasset.io. So that's kind of what we have for now. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you thank you, Simon from Meta Asset. I think everyone here with us today, or all the projects, first of all, I think, yeah, you are all very special. You definitely fill a gap in the market, solutions that are needed to be there, and that, yeah, your project provides them, which is great. And it's been very interesting talking to you as well. You're obviously all very intelligent people and know a lot about your specific niche, which is great. So before we go, is there anything that you'd like to say? Any hellos to your community at all? Just any parting words? Again, that would be great. And to mix things up a bit, Alex, you're not going to go first, just to give you a tiny bit of a break. Jerry, would you like to go first? Just any conclusive words before we head off.
Alex is probably sick of me piggybacking off his great ideas. But yeah, no, thanks for having us, Tom, and shout out to the community for supporting us as well, and also the VCs, and big shout out to the team for working so hard on making all of this come true.
Brilliant, great,
and also best of luck, and looking forward to keeping in touch with everyone else here, Eskil, Alex, and Simon.
100%. Yeah, no, Tom. We definitely will keep in touch. Thank you. Eskil, Go Plus Security. Go ahead. Yeah, just any parting words.
Thank you so much for the fantastic time. The pleasure is on me. And what I want to say in the end, again, we try to provide everyone's security too. And do take care and hope for the love and peace in the world, especially in this such a special timing.
Great. Well, thank you, Eskil. Perfect. Simon from Meta Asset, any conclusive comments you want to mention?
Yeah, I just look forward to more activities like this. Thanks very much for organizing this great event, and it's been great knowing you, Tom, Alex, Jerry, Eskil. I really look forward. It's an amazing panel. Everybody's so articulate and intelligent in their areas, and I look forward to work with you guys more in the future. I'm sure that will happen. Yeah.
Fantastic. Brilliant, Simon. Well, great to have you here as well, obviously. And finally, Alex, Wombat Exchange, anything to say before we say goodbye to everyone?
Well, I just want to say thanks, Tom, Jerry, Eskil, and Simon. You guys have been fantastic. It was a pleasure. Yeah, thanks to everyone at Wombat supporting Wombat, our Discord, Twitter, Telegram. Thanks to all you guys. Thanks to all the VCs. But I think last parting words, I think the world needs more builders, and I think I hope more people build, and I think it just makes crypto just more fun and exciting for everyone. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks for your time.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. And thank you very much again to all of our projects. They can all be seen on our Twitter. If you just scroll down a tiny bit, each one of them is linked individually. And there's also a few posts where they're all linked in one post as well. So definitely do check them out. Thank you to our listeners as well. Thank you to everyone who's written all the comments of support. That is fantastic. But we will all keep in we'll all keep in contact. And hopefully, later down the line, we'll do something else similar to this with you guys again, because it has been really eye-opening. But thank you so much for your time again, and have a good afternoon, evening, night, lunch, morning, wherever you are. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Speak soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.